Do you feel disappointed or unhappy with your body? Do you hate how it looks or how parts of it look? Does your inner mean girl speak up on a regular basis, filling your mind with negative body-shaming thoughts? Our next guest is here to help us change all of that and start loving our bodies. It is possible. Welcome this morning, certified health coach Samantha Eaton. Samantha, good morning and thanks for being here today.
Good morning.
I'm really passionate about this topic. I have a lot of strong feelings on it, and I know you do too. This is something that you have struggled with forever.
Oh my gosh, yes, forever. I remember I used to look at my body in the mirror and instantly feel deflated. And I was so confused because in my mind, I was doing all the right things, right? I was eating the right foods, I was exercising a lot, I was taking diet pills, and I even got down to my ideal weight. But no matter what I did, nothing changed how I felt about myself or my body. I never had more confidence or more self-esteem, and I never felt more comfortable in my own skin. And looking back, I can see that one of the big reasons it didn't work was that I wasn't focused on the right thing, the true root cause. Instead, I was trying to fix my unhappiness with my body the way that most people do, by trying to fix the symptom, what my body looked like. And that didn't work, of course, because as you know, it's never really about our body.
It's really not, like you said, you hit what your goal weight was, your ideal weight was. You thought, if I can reach that number, I'll be happy, and then you still weren't happy because that's not what it's about. So what are some of the possible root causes that so many of us may be experiencing?
Yeah, so the first one is really about identifying and overcoming the comparison game. So disappointment and hatred towards the body can come from comparing yourself to something that you think you should and wish you would look like.
Like those external influencers,
Those external influencers, exactly. So it can come from that place. And just those shoulds in your mind, right? Of like, this is what I should be looking like. And when you don't match up to whatever that is, that's when those negative feelings can creep in. I'm not good enough, like I'm too lazy, I'm not trying hard enough. Like that shame voice really speaks up loudly. And once that voice comes up, that's when those destructive behaviors can follow it. And that's where it kind of gets a little bit messier at the same time. So I think taking a step back and really seeing that, it's coming from an external place. We're not born thinking this. It's a learned mindset, right? Like if we were born on a desert island, the only body we ever saw was ours. We had no exposure to media, society, anyone or anything, we wouldn't think twice about what our body looked like.
We'd be like, my body's awesome.
Exactly, we wouldn't. And like little kids aren't self-conscious about their chubby bellies or their leg rolls, and we don't love them any less because of it. So the first thing is to really remember that comparison and judgment are a recipe for unhappiness. Instead, you are your own person, own who you are. We are all perfectly imperfect. Every single one of us is. So releasing those standards and, the shoulds and those culturally ideal body myths is really helpful.
Yeah, that does not come from inside of ourselves. The next thing that could be the root cause of your unhappiness with your body is focusing on the negative, only looking at what you can't stand about it.
Exactly, that's another thing. So the fastest way to get what you don't want is by focusing on what you don't want. When our reality does not match our thoughts and our perceptions, our brain does whatever it can to resolve the inconsistency, and that's where those self-sabotaging behaviors can come from. So instead of focusing on all the things that you hate or don't like about your body, instead focus on all the things, big or small, that you're maybe grateful for your body, or that you don't totally hate, or that you maybe like, and that will help attract more of the positive. So when we shift our kind of goal to acceptance, accepting that this is my body, the only body I'm ever going to have, there's no way I can magically change it right now, then that kind of puts us in the right direction, because as humans, we naturally take care of what's important to us. So by making that shift, we'll get where we want to go that much easier.
You can't shame yourself into a better body. That does not work. However, acceptance has a whole heck of a lot to do with how you feel. Your next root cause is something you call unhappiness projection. What does that mean?
So I found that happiness is kind of a package deal in a way. So if you're unhappy in one area of your life, it can be second nature for your brain to project that onto your body. So for me, when I'm having a day where I'm just thinking negatively about my body, which definitely still happens from time to time, I'd say 9 out of 10 times I can trace it back to another area of my life that I'm feeling anxious or stressed about or I'm unhappy with. The biggest one for me is when I'm feeling out of control in some area of my life. Then I always put it back on my body. So next time those negative feelings come up, to really get curious and say, is that maybe coming from another area, and then work to separate it from your body.
Okay. Scale letdown.
Yes. When we weigh ourselves regularly, it can be very common to kind of take that number and subconsciously let it fuel that inner shame voice in the back of our minds. I call her your inner mean girl. So your inner mean girl takes this number and she tells you things like, you're fat, you're not good enough, you're not trying hard enough. And ultimately, it's that number on the scale that dictates how we think and that dictates how we feel about ourselves. But in reality, that number tells you absolutely nothing about who you are as a person or even your health. So the fix here is easy. Ditch the scale and instead start your day with something more positive and uplifting, like a gratitude practice instead.
Oh, it works so much better. Also, something you call the social media stumble. Are you talking about the thing when you see someone on social media and they seem like they have the perfect body and have it all together, and then you hold yourself up to that?
Yeah, like have you ever been scrolling through social media and afterwards you felt fat, you felt weak, unworthy, frustrated, not good enough? Like we've all been there.
Yes.
So by comparing yourself to someone else's likely staged and photoshopped highlight reel is another recipe for unhappiness. So change your environment to match your goals. Unfriend or unfollow anyone or anything that gives you the slightest pang of insecurity or that makes you feel like you have to change what you look like to be as happy as they appear. And something else, too, that's not exactly related to that I wanted to say was we all have those I hate my body days. And I'm not here to say that they're going to go away forever because they probably will not in our society we live in, unfortunately. But they can happen way less often and have way less of a negative impact on our lives when they do pop up.
What you need to learn how to do is retrain your brain to think differently because then your bounce back factor is quicker. So when you do experience that, you go, wait a minute, I know what's true. I know what's true about me. I'm so grateful I have this body to walk around and experience my life. And you can change it to that. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. And having more neutral thoughts about your body, that helps a lot. Instead of being so obsessed, we're so worried about how we look all the time. It's ridiculous.
And the diet industry profits off of all of that, which is so awful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. This conversation needs to be continued, Samantha. Thank you so much. If you want to start silencing your inner mean girl and learn more about how this might be keeping you stuck, check out Samantha's free 5-day challenge, healthyeaton.com/5-day challenge. It's right there on the screen. Check it out. I think we should all do this together. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.